You're going to want to get something in place so that you can continue to have contact. So the other things that may be involved here is that when they click on your search engine page, it may not go to the page that you want. It may go to the home page, may go to a page deep within the site that isn't going to get them to do what you particularly want them to do. You can't change those pages without the risk of losing your ranking in the search engine. Here's some other things. You can be usurped by somebody who's more diligent, gets more backlinks, changes things around, etc. If Google changes its algorithm, or if Bing changes its algorithm, you may lose that positions. Your keywords may not cover all markets. You can't control what text is displayed in the search engine results. To a certain extent you can, but you really don't have total control over it. You can't easily change it. And really you don't know how much it's going to cost to get onto that page. And when we think, well, just being in the search engines is free, it's really not when you think about all the effort that you have to go through to get backlinks, put yourself in social media, etc. All that takes time. So there is really a cost to it. It's a hidden cost and people don't talk about it. So why not just SEO? Because there's a lot of uncertainty about how to get ranked. And you're also trying to compete against people with websites that are well established. So why pay-per-click? Well, for one, you can quickly get on the first page of the search engine results. You can pick which keywords that you want to work with. You can eliminate keywords that don't work, and there may be keywords that you don't want to be bothered with. You don't want people who come into your website who are looking for something that's free. So you can exclude that kind of traffic if you want to. You can target specific markets, geographic, demographic markets. So if you're just trying to market to children, or if you're trying to market to seniors, or if you're trying to market to people who are affluent, you can target whatever market you want. You can control your costs. To get on your first page, you can be on the first page of the search engine results, but if you only want to spend $5 a day, you can do that. Now, to get on the first page with SEO, you're always there, but you don't know how much it costs to get there. It could cost you $100, could cost you thousands of dollars. More likely, it'll cost you thousands of dollars in time to do it the SEO way. You can control the message that's in your ad, and we'll be going over that more. Whereas before I said that on SEO, you can't control what was represented on the first page in your results. You can control that message with your ad, and you can control what landing page it goes to. So you do SEO and it goes to a page and you can't change that page. With these ads, you can send them to a specific page. Okay, we've covered basically everything in that thing. Okay, why start with Google? Because there's other search engine providers out there. Well, Google has the lion's share of the search traffic. They have as of August, I believe they had about 67% of the search traffic. There's Yahoo, Ask, and AOL, but that's one of the main reasons. Start where everything else is. And you'll be able to get your answers faster. From everything that you learn with Google and all their tools, then you can start to bring that over to some of the other platforms which don't have the tools and don't have the infrastructure that's going to help you get your best results. Now, some of the great tools for keyword for optimization, there's something called a search-based keyword tool. Has anybody ever heard of it, used it at all? Okay, this is a great tool that you should definitely consider using even before doing somebody's website. With the search-based keyword tool, you can go and find out what people are searching for. So before you even do a website for any reason, find out what people are searching for and try to target those words and build those into your website just for normal SEO. There's great reporting in Google AdWords that are integrated with Google Analytics. And you're also able to do A/B testing. Does anybody know what A/B testing is? Okay. You've heard of A/B testing?
Thinking before and after?
Actually, A/B testing is where you take two versions of something and you serve it up to your visitors during the same time period randomly. And from those two things, you see which one performs better. Now when we're talking about A/B testing, we're going to be doing stuff with A/B testing in every facet of pay-per-click. You're going to do A/B testing with the ads. Yes?
With the search-based keyword tool, can you recommend a particular tool that you know?
Google's search-based keyword tool.
Oh, it's a Google tool.
Yes.
Can you demonstrate?
I don't have internet here, and I think if I do it, it's going to interfere. If later on, at the end of the presentation, it's something that we can take a look at. But it's easy to find and it's easy to use. Just Google SK tool, and it'll take you there. So, also, landing pages and conversion optimization, those are integrated with the Webmaster Tools product that Google has available. And here's another reason why you want to use Google as your pay-per-click provider, to start with anyway. Market segmentation control. So you can market to different segments of different markets based on a number of different things. There's ages that you can do, geographic areas that you can control. And there's reasons why you might want to do that. Not everybody has the same interest, and the reason why somebody might want to act on an offer that you have might be different based upon their age or their gender or their geographic location. All right, why else start? Whatever works with Google can be ported over to the other providers. That's Bing, Yahoo, and Facebook also has pay-per-click, and LinkedIn has pay-per-click. So anything that you learn here with these tools, you can optimize first here, get it to perform where it's profitable, and then bring what you learn over to those other platforms. Okay? One thing that you should remember, though, is that because we're talking about other platforms, the demographics may be different. The kinds of users who go to AOL are significantly different from the people who go to Google or to Bing or to Facebook or to LinkedIn. But that doesn't mean that it's better to go with some prior experience than it is to go completely blind. And if you find differences in the market and things don't work, you can tweak it from there. But the idea is to get a pretty good aim on something before you start going over to another platform and working without the tools that you have here. Okay, some of the tools that Google has for you. AdWords. The Google products. I'm sorry. AdWords. AdWords is a search-based product. When you go in and you go to Google and you put in your keywords, there are ads that you will see across the top and across the right side. Those are paid-for ads, and they're search-based text ads. So they're just text, and what you have to work with is just text. There's also what they call the display network. Used to call it the content network. And it works, it's a variety of formats, and they're embedded in content sites. And you may have put these ads on your sites as well. You can put text ads, you can put graphics ads, you can put video ads on your sites. Well, this is a way to buy those ads on other people's sites. And they're very good. An example, say you want to go to recipes.com and you wanted to put ads up on recipes.com, or if you wanted to go to, I don't know, any of a number of other sites. You can put ads on those sites and address the people on those sites with an offer that you might have. Okay, other Google pay-per-click products. There's YouTube. Now, YouTube has several products. They have videos, a preview videos, so that somebody goes to see a video, all of a sudden they're looking at a commercial before they get to see the other video. They also have overlays, and that's while a video is showing, a little text will come up and you can click there and be taken away from the video to another page with whatever product caught your fancy. They have mobile ads. Those are on phones. They come showing up on screens when you're using various free apps. And now, as of this month, Google Shopping changed over to a pay-per-click model. Whereas before it was free, so if you were doing any websites that were e-commerce, if you wanted to be listed in the Google Shopping register, which is definitely something that you would want to do, up until that point all you had to do was send them an XML file. Now they've changed it, and I haven't had a good chance to look at it, but it's now a bid model. So if you're going to send your products over to be listed in Google Shopping, Google Products, or also sometimes called Google Base, you'll have to be bidding on placement in that registry. Okay, on the display network, I spoke about that. That's various ads that are placed in content not search-based. They have text ads available for you. They have image ads available for you. You can do video ads. You can do rich media ads. And also, here's a neat thing. There's something called remarketing. And remarketing works like this. That's hard to say. Say you saw an ad and you clicked on it and you went to a website, and it could be anything. The first time I discovered this was last year with Oriental Rugs. And I clicked on a site and I went to Oriental Rugs. For days afterwards, every time I went to another website, I'd see these ads for this one place, Oriental Rugs. I said, how the hell are they following me around? But at the time, it was a new product called remarketing. It's a way for you to get your name out in front of somebody who has expressed an interest in the type of product that you're promoting but hasn't made a decision to buy yet. And sometimes that's important. Sometimes it's important to have several contacts with a prospect before they're actually willing to commit to buy. So that's something else. We're not going to cover anything more on remarketing now, but it's something to know that it does exist there. Okay. The tools that they have available. There's a search-based keyword tool. I mentioned it before. And there's the URL if you want to go find out about the search-based keyword tool. Myself, I just go to Google and put in SK tool, and 2 clicks and I'm there, because I can't remember that. Okay. Now, here's an important thing. You can go to the public SK tool, and you'll be able to get a lot of data. But if you have an AdWords account, and you can, any one of us can sign into an AdWords account, but if you have an AdWords account, you can get some cost per click data too, which you wouldn't have been able to get had you not created an AdWords account. So if at all possible, I suggest you do so and try doing it with that. There's also other data that's available that's not available to without that. Did that just go backwards? Okay, next tool. Okay, here's a picture of the SK tool. Okay, and on the right side, you'll see here's the columns that are available: competition, global monthly searches, local monthly searches, ad share, etc. A couple of these I'm going to comment upon. Competition is not how many websites are out there for this particular product. Competition is how many people are bidding on ads for that. So it's just a relative guide to how many people are trying to bid on ads for those particular keywords. Global monthly searches is the whole world. Local monthly searches is not your town or your region. Local monthly searches refers to the United States, your country. So when you see the column with local monthly searches and it says 2,365 or whatever, that's the number of searches on that particular keyword within the United States for that for a month, average. Okay. Approximate cost per click per search. That's a good guide, but I found that it's a little bit high for what you can actually be paying for when you bid on ads. But again, it's relative. So if something says that it's $5 per click and something else says that it's 30 cents per click, you can tell that there's a significant difference in what people are bidding on and willing to bid on for a particular keyword. It's relative, but it's a good guide anyway. Okay. Okay, there's filters for the SK tool also. So you can filter your data according to the country, the language, etc. Anything else there of interest? No. Okay.
Keyword trends.
I will mention that as a tool. Okay. There's a traffic estimator which is good for market research. If you want to find out if a product is going to have enough interest in it before even building a website for it, you can use the traffic estimator. It also will help you to estimate how much your ad spend is going to be in a particular month. So, you know, if you know what the ads are going to cost and how many clicks you're going to have, you can gauge the potential cost for a particular month using that. Here's a screenshot of the traffic estimator. Again, I did some keyword research, just put in the Oriental rugs, which I was researching a little bit earlier in the year. And it tells you, you know, the cost per click, your average per position. It lets you put in how much you're willing to bid on cost per click and the daily budget you're willing to spend, and you can get a good estimate of what you might be up against. There's a Display Networks ad planner tool. I haven't used it, but this is what Google says it will do. You can help identify placements for your targets and easily build media plans. Again, I don't have experience with that tool. I've seen it recommended though. Okay, there's an AdWords editor, and this is great. This is an absolutely terrific tool. It works on Windows platforms though. I'm a Linux guy, so it gets a little bit difficult for me. Most of the stuff you'll see about working AdWords, they have a web interface. And the web interface is great, but it's click this screen, click that screen, etc. And there's several things that you cannot do with the web interface for Google AdWords. But the advantage of getting the AdWords editor, and it works great, is you can work offline, you can make bulk changes to stuff and then just connect and upload your changes. And here's the big one that you can't do on the web interface is you can't move your ad groups between campaigns, and you can't copy ad groups between campaigns. So if you have an ad group that's working for one particular set of keywords, or if you have an ad group that's working in one particular region and you want to make a new campaign to work on a different particular region, change a few keywords, change the time and stuff like that without changing the ads, the way you would do that is use the AdWords editor to go and copy those campaigns or those ad groups over to new campaigns. Two other things that I want to mention: Google Analytics. Google Analytics is absolutely terrific. You should be using it anyway, even if you're not doing anything with pay-per-click. It gives you insight into what people are doing on your website, what they're looking for. Has anybody here, I'm sure most of you have put Google Analytics on your website. There's several plugins that are available. You can take the code and you can put it right into your index.php file. What is it? I believe it's the index.php file. I wouldn't do that. I would definitely want to use one of the free plugins that are out there, and then just put the code into the plugin, and then it just works properly. There's also Google Goals. This is great. Remember before I spoke about conversion. Google Goals is built in with your Analytics and your Webmaster Tools account, and what you're able to do is to define pages in Google Goals that are what you would consider conversion. It might be a thank you page for making a purchase. It might be a sign-up page or a thank you page for signing up for our newsletter. Whatever it is that you consider conversion, definitely you should be using Google Goals, and you should absolutely be using it when you're using pay-per-click, because you need to optimize and make sure that what you're paying for in the way of clicks is getting to the result that you want. If you're not doing it, You're throwing money away. And if your ad campaign is big, you may be throwing a lot of money away. Now, if we're talking about even percentage points of improvement, it could end up being a lot of money. And the differences we're talking about here, it might be the color of a submit button. It might be choosing to use a different photo in a page. It might be choosing to change the words in a headline. But any of these things can be optimized to improve what you would call conversion. All right, content experiments. This goes hand in hand with Google Goals. Used to be called Website Optimizer. And there's the website for it. Support Google, that's too much. Just Google Content Experiments. All right, now when it was Website Optimizer, it required that you inserted Java code on a specific page. You registered the page with Google, and then you would insert Java code, and the Java code would be surrounding parts that you wanted to change. It was really a neat tool, and it allowed you to do something called a multivariate experiment. And you could change several things on a page in conjunction with each other and see which of 4, 5, 6 different changes and changes that work together were to perform well. They changed it. They made it content experiments now. And the way content experiments works is that you make several different versions of a page. It's not a multivariate experiment. It's an A, B, N type of experiment where you have 4 or 5, up to 4, I believe up to 5 pages that you can change and see which one performs best. It's still good. It's still simple. It's simpler to set up than Website Optimizer was, except that it doesn't give you the variability that that Website Optimizer did. Google Trends. This is an excellent tool, and you should certainly taking a look at it. The way it pertains to pay per click is that if you're taking a look at your data and you find that I'm not getting the results that I was before, and you might be thinking that maybe your ads are getting a little bit tired and you have to change them, etc. And that happens, but it may not be the case. Take a look at Google Trends. There may be seasonal variability in the interest in the products that you're working with, or it may be a long-term trend in the products that you're working with. And you really need to know these. Before you go monkeying with whatever you've got going there, you want to find out what's going on outside, external to what you're doing, to make sure that you're not messing up something that's working properly, but just the environment has changed. All right. Am I going too fast or going too slow? Is it all okay? Okay. Now let's talk about quality score. When you place an ad in Google AdWords, it assigns what it calls a quality score to your ad. And that quality score is going to work along with the amount you're willing to bid to place your ads on a search page. The higher your quality score is, the more frequently and the higher your ad will place. Also, the higher your quality score, the less you'll have to pay to be in a certain position as compared to another ad that would have a lower quality score. So you could be you could pay 30 cents for an ad to be in position number 2, while the person in position number 3 is paying 80 cents. It's entirely possible.
How is the quality score determined?
I'll get to that in a second. Okay? So again, the quality score times your bid relates to your position. Now, here's the thing. It also works the opposite way. If you want your bids to be lower, and who doesn't want to pay less for a click? If you want the cost per click to be lower, then improve your quality score or take a lower position. But there's a good place to be in position, and so you really just want to improve your quality score. To get to your question, the things that Google rates gives you a quality score based upon your click-through history, the keywords that are in your ad, what it judges to be the relevance of the ad, which may be other keywords that are in the ad, and elements on your landing page and other elements. Now, Google hasn't told everything, but they do have in their help things that they have outlined, things that are related to their quality score, and they'll give you a good idea. They don't give you the complete recipe, but they give you a good idea of what to look for. So if you want to minimize your click costs, either accept a lower target position, and here's the thing, a lower target position may get more clicks. If somebody takes a look at the ads on the right side and they see 10 of them, they may take a look at 1, 2 and say, oh, okay, and you may actually get more clicks in positions 4 through 7 than you would in 1 and 2 or the lower ones, 9 and 10. So the other thing you can do if you want to minimize your click costs is increase your quality score. Ultimately, you want lower costs per, not per click. We want lower costs per action or acquisition or conversion. And you want to maximize your profits. So even though we're talking right now about the cost per click, ultimately what you're going to want to take a look at is your numbers for profitability. And you'll have to work those things out in spreadsheets, but it may be that you may have to cut off keywords that are bringing in people that aren't buying, and there are such keywords. You have to keep an eye on that stuff. Okay, so factors affecting quality score, we just discussed that. Relevance, specific keywords in the headline, keywords in the body, keywords in the destination URL. And what the destination URL is you have an URL for your web page. It might be Mark's website / the destination page. But on Google AdWords, they let you put in what looks like an URL, but it's really not the page, it's a redirect. And so if you want to, I don't know, dog collars, for instance, right? It could be digifix.us / dog collars. And somebody went searching for dog collars, and they see that the destination URL is digifix.us dog collars. Psychologically, they're saying to themselves, oh, there's a page specifically for that, and it may help them to click on it. Google also recognizes that and it builds that into your relevance. Now, that doesn't have to go, again, it doesn't have to go there. It could go to my website, which is digifix.us trial page 1 or trial page 2 or trial page 3, however many trial pages I might be able to run. But again, the destination URL is one thing. Okay, click-through rate for your ads, that affects your quality score. Items on your landing page, those affect your quality score. And what you asked before about, where you might find out more about this, see this URL here, support.google.com, AdWords, binary, answer.py, ... I would just Google it. All right. How do you increase your click-through rate? Well, the two ways two things that affect your click-through rate. One is the position on the page. The higher up on the page, the more they tend to get a click-through. But also, what's more important is to make sure that your ad is appealing. Now, you only have a certain amount of text on a Google AdWords ad that will appeal to somebody. So you've got to get the words in there. You have to make them convinced that if they click on this, it's going to take them to find something that they are looking for that solves their problem or answers their question. Same thing true with any of the other ads, the image ads or the video ads. You need to have an appealing ad, and that will increase your click-through rate. Anybody know what long-tail keywords are? All right, the long-tail keywords. He did a histogram of the keywords as they're searched. Lots of keywords come up very frequently, and the more you add to a search term, the less frequently it is searched for. So somebody might search for shoes, but then they might search for black shoes. Black shoes is a little bit less frequently, but patent leather, black shoes, etc. or etc. The more words you add in, the less frequently they're searched for. So when you take a look here, they refer to these as long-tail keywords, and they take up 70% of searches. That's also the low-hanging fruit. Long-tail keywords, they're searched for less. There's usually less competition on them, and you can usually get them for a lower cost per click. But there's other advantages to the long-tail keyword. By the time somebody who just types in shoes, they could be wanting to know how shoes are made. They just want to see what shoes are available. But when somebody is searching for a very specific item, it signifies that they have an intent to buy, or there's something that they particularly need. So if you go for the long tail keywords, not only do they cost you less, but it may be easier for you to get them to convert or buy or whatever it is. Let's talk about the buying process. I didn't find out about this until recently, in the last year or two. Nobody told me when I was younger, but the buying process, and they have the letters for it, AIDA, which means that in the process you catch somebody's attention, you have to develop their interest in it, they have to have a desire for the particular thing that you have, and then you've got to convince them to take action. Now, in the subject we're talking about, this works at several levels. It works at the whole level, the buying process, where you've got to catch their attention, but also at the ad level. Your ad has got to catch their attention and interest, and you have to give them the desire to click through and find out more. And also at the landing page level. They get to a landing page, don't send them to your home page. Please don't send them to your home page. They'll just click back. They're not going to look for what they want. If they search for, green dog collars, send them to a page with green dog collars. Don't send them to a page with black dog collars. Don't send them to a page with cat litter pans. Send them to a page specifically that what they have. Make it obvious that they landed on the place that they belong. Grab their interest and lead them along through the buying process. So again, that whole process works at all levels. At the ad level, the landing page level, and the whole process. All right. How does that anagram, AIDA, relate to the pay-per-click products? To get their attention, sometimes that's something called interrupt marketing. You put an ad there, they're at CNN.com and they see an ad, or if they're at YouTube, you distract them and you put something in front of them, they've caught their attention, and try to get them interested in it, okay? So that interrupt marketing will probably play well on products on their display network, on YouTube, sometimes on search. Not always on search, but sometimes on search. Sometimes there's alternate products that people might want in search. Perhaps they're looking for something, something to let me see. Okay, if they're looking for dog muzzles because their dog bites, all of a sudden you might want to put in an ad for dog training. It's not exactly what they're looking for, but it may solve their problem. So again, catch their attention. It may work on search. You've got to get their interest. Now, interest, that would work on search marketing, but search marketing, we're talking about general keywords. When somebody searches about baseball, they may be looking to learn more about baseball. You've got their interest, so the products that where at the interest level would be the search display. You know, you could put your ads on a website about baseball. YouTube, you can put your ads on a video that's about baseball. So at that level, the interest level, you've got those products which are applicable. Desire, this is where somebody's looking to purchase something. They may not know exactly what, but they have a desire for it. They may be researching they may be researching to see which one it is. Okay, so search marketing, when people are searching for specific keywords, those longer tailed keywords, that indicates that they have a desire for it. If they enter brands into their keyword search, that indicates a desire. And the products that would work well with these, the search network, AdWords, the display network, and YouTube. Action. When at the action level, they're looking to buy. Usually at that point, they're looking for convenience or price. And that's where you would work with search marketing, search and Google Shopping. Google Shopping especially. You've got a product, they're looking for it at that point. Google's going to put up their products that they have listed, so you might want. And then there's one more level to this, and that's the repurchase. That's the mailing lists that we've never talked about. But again, if you've got the person as a customer once and you have the opportunity, definitely build that into your marketing plan to continue to talk to them with mailing lists. All right, the sales funnel. Sometimes they talk in marketing about a sales funnel. That's lead capture, drip marketing. If you buy keywords and send somebody to what's called a squeeze page, Google frowns upon that. That will negatively affect your quality score significantly. If you send, a squeeze page is a page where there's only one thing to do. Well, it has two things to do. Either click on the buy button or you click back. Google wants to see navigation on a page. So if you want to go to the home page, you can give them a landing page with limited choices, but don't give them a landing page with no choices on where to go. Okay, that's basically a squeeze page. Okay. Landing pages. When you build your campaigns, you divide your campaigns into what's called ad groups. And each ad group should have its own landing page or landing pages. And those are, when you click on an ad, it goes to the page. Don't ever send people to your home page when they're looking for a specific product. I mentioned that before. Now, a good idea is to have several landing pages to see which one performs better. One may be one in one color, or a certain picture might work better than another image. You can even vary price to see which works better. So if you wanted to do price, research on price, you could do that. You could have one item for $19, one item for $29, one item for $49. And don't think that just because it's a lower price, it's going to sell more. There are times when people perceive value in the higher price, and for some reason, I don't know, you will find that more people buy at a higher price than they do at a lower price. How search keyword terms relate to marketing. I mentioned this before about the long tail keywords. Sometimes they signify buying intent. If people are searching on broad terms, then they're generally researching a product. If they get very narrow terms, very specific terms, then they're closer to buying. So for landing page, when you send somebody to your page, the landing page, make sure your headline is attention grabbing. Flag your prospects in a certain way. So if you're marketing to young mothers, somehow tell them that this page is meant for you, that you're a young mother and this page is meant for you. You may have it in the text, you may have it in the headline, you may have it in an image, but just so that they get there, they know this place is for me. An offer, definitely build upon your offer. Now highlight your benefits, not your features. So, because people buy for their benefits. I don't care what the feature is, as long as, I don't care if the stereo goes to 400 decibels or whatever, as long as I can hear the music that I want to, etc. Remember, the features support the benefits don't support the features. The copy must keep their attention. It must keep moving. Don't lose their attention. It's got to have a call to action and clear instructions what to do, where to buy. Don't let them go hunting for, how do I get this? Once they've made their decision to get it, show them how to get it. Testimonials are very important to have. If you can get testimonials, they give you they signify reassurance and acceptance, and a USP, a unique selling proposition. Make it so that the item you're selling, the service you're selling, is different from other people's. So, and answer the question: why should I choose this option over every other option available to me? Okay. So now here's some novel uses for AdWords that I've seen mentioned and some we've used. If you want to test a product name, you can put your product name in your ad and see which one is more appealing. If you get more clicks on one product name as opposed to another, it's a better product name. Website name. Remember I said the destination earlier. You want to try a couple different website names? You can do that. Whether there's any interest in a product. You can put a product out there and AdWords out there, see if anybody clicks on it for a couple of days. If nobody's clicking on it, then there's no interest. Why bother developing it any further? Product packaging. Put different versions of a package on a landing page. See which one converts better. Product features. Which ones, when you mention these features, are people interested in it? If you don't mention this feature, do people lose interest, etc.? Okay, this isn't in the slides, but I've seen this mentioned. Sometimes when you're doing this product marketing and these product testings, you can open up an AdWords account. You don't have to send them to your website. You can go out there and find somebody else's website that has the product, and you want to find out if there's any interest in it, run the ad for a couple days. Send them to somebody else's website. Pay for the ads, 20 cents per click. It may be that you could spend $200-300 in product research as opposed to spending tens of thousands of dollars on product research or anything else. Here, packaging. How much would it cost to package everything and find out the packaging stinks? Okay. In AdWords, the whole AdWords thing is structured this. You have campaigns, you have ad groups, and you have ads. That's how it's structured. So the campaigns contain ad groups, and ad groups contain ads. So this guide you should pay attention to. The ad groups, keep them narrowly focused. Your ads are to speak to small markets, and you can focus them better. You can get better click-through rates. It's more work, but work with a few keywords, or fewer keywords is better. A narrow focus, maybe longer tail keywords. Create the ads within each ad group. At least 2 ads, and those 2 ads compete against each other. And they compete against each other for click-through. So, and this is the way you set it up. Ad groups, the ads compete against each other. Now, their setting isn't there. Make sure that Google doesn't take control and shows better performing ads better. Take control of all of this stuff yourself. Tell Google, show them at the same rate. I'll make the decision when to turn one off and to change an ad. I suggest don't put more than 4 ads into any particular ad group. If you have 4 ads competing against each other, that's enough. That's plenty. Otherwise, you'll just be overwhelmed with data. If you have fewer ads in an ad group, the sooner you can declare one a winner discard it and put another one in as a challenger against the winner. Higher click-through rate will reduce the cost per click, and also when you send traffic, be sure that the traffic you're getting from that ad group is actually converting. Be sure from that ad group that they're actually getting to your goal page in Google Goals. If you're buying clicks and they're not buying, stop working with those keywords. So you can target your ad groups and also your campaigns according to geographic area and according to demographics. So Google does its best to try to decide how, the demographics of these people. Whether it's a woman who's searching, whether they're younger or older, they do their best. And they do their best to do geographic targeting too. When I talk about geographic targeting though, we can get very, very granular with the geographic targeting. So I can target within 2 miles of my office. I can target for specific towns by zip code. All right. I said before that the keyword in the ad, suppose that you have several keywords in your ads and they're all similar. It might be orange or grapefruit or kumquat or any of a bunch of citrus fruit. You want to send them to a citrus fruit page, right? You can put those in, and the way you would put what you put in your ad is this: keyword and default. And so this might be just keyword, and this would be citrus fruit. And so if there's no default word there, it will put in the default word. If the search was for something other than orange or grapefruit or whatever, it would put in citrus fruit. But if it's the specific word, it will put that specific word into the ad. Again, you don't use this often, but people come up with, well, how do I get my keyword directly in the ad? Because sometimes ads are very specific like that. But
is this a fairly new feature in Google AdWords?
No, it's been around for a while.
Oh, it's been around?
Yeah. But just be sure that if you're going to use that little feature, be sure that you make sure that your ad makes sense grammatically if you use it. Okay. Always test your landing pages for conversion. Use Content Experiment and Google Goals to do so. Optimize your campaigns. Eliminate poorly converted keywords, or if they convert poorly, it's perhaps possible they're just going to a landing page that isn't speaking to them. So one thing that you can try is, if the keyword is performing poorly, put it into a different ad group and send it to a different landing page and try to optimize. If you're convinced it's going to work, send it to a different landing page in a different group, change your bids on it, and see if you can get it to work. But if it's not going to work, get it out of there, because what it's doing is ultimately is causing your other bids to be greater. If you have keywords that do a great job of converting, separate those out of the group too. Put those in their own campaign. You'll be able to pay less per click because it's in an ad group with a higher click-through rate. Okay, so how do we create an AdWords search campaign? First, when you open up the Google, you go into the Google AdWords interface and you choose one of their products. You say create a new, and they're going to ask you, and you're going to choose search as opposed to a display or a video ad campaign. Do not combine your campaigns. The default is for Google to say, well, we'll put it on the search network and the content network. They're different markets. Don't do it that way. If you want to put text ads on the content network, do so, but don't do it in a combined campaign. You can do it. You can send it just to Google or to their search partners. Search partners might be AOL or whoever Google provides search for. It's certainly those search partners may represent a different demographic for you. Make your own choice on that. You can also choose the devices, but again, keep the devices separate. The people who are using the smartphones are different from the people who are using the computers. So you would send them to different landing pages. You would treat them differently. here's a neat thing though, locations. You can limit your location by country, geographic area, or zip code. You can get very granular. And how is this important? Well, one of the examples I ran across is somebody's traveling to Chicago. I don't know anything about Chicago, so if I saw a hotel's convenient in downtown area, I would be interested in something going to the downtown area. But somebody who's in Chicago might see something, wouldn't be attracted to something that said downtown. They would want to know about the clock tower area. I had no idea what the clock tower was, but apparently it's an old building that survived the Chicago fire. They've been there for a long time, but Chicagoans are familiar with that term. So you may, for various reasons, you may want to separate out your campaigns and treat them differently based upon the areas. Another example I might give you is across this country, soda or pop or cola or tonic. Okay? If you offer a limit, okay, there we go. You can also use this to exclude regions. So if you don't want to advertise in certain regions, they convert poorly, or for whatever reason, you can use that feature to exclude regions. When you create the campaign, set a daily budget and be very conservative. And when you first start, you can raise it later on, but set it low. I suggest $10, $25 a day to begin with. Remember that daily budget is going to be multiplied by a month. So even if you set it at $10 a day, if you get all the traffic that you're going to get for $10 a day, at the end of the month it's $310. There's a bidding option when you create your campaign. Very important. Choose manual bidding. Never choose automatic bidding. You'll go through your spend very quickly if you choose automatic bidding. With manual bidding, you can set the price that you're willing to pay per click for each specific keyword, because some keywords will be different than others. And if you can get a keyword click for 5 cents, why would you want to pay 30 cents for that keyword click? If you can, take advantage of ad extensions. And I'm not going to go too far into ad extensions, but ad extensions, you can actually put several pages on your Google ad. So, and that's one possibility. There's several other. One has to relate to phone numbers. You can look at those up. Okay. When you create a text ad, there's an example here. The headline can be up to 25 characters. There's the first description line up to 35 characters. 35 characters also for the second description line. 35 characters for your display URL, and then the destination URL is the actual page it goes to.
Excuse me, Mark, do you want to try to maximize the number of those limitations, like 35 characters?
No, that's the limit to how long you have, how many characters you have. So
does it make sense to try to use it up? I mean, like, have it wordy?
It really depends upon the ad and the keyword and the market. And I could easily see that you could have, it may be that a very short ad, if all the other ads that you're competing against are long and verbose and you have a really short one, that may grab people's attention. If you got the right words in there, they may click on it. Now, they may click on it, but they may be the wrong kinds of click, but they may be the right kinds of clicks, you know.
It's roughly 35 words per report.
Yeah, but how about you were save ink now? Oh, okay, let me see, you know. I don't know. But it depends, and it's certainly something that's worth testing. So when you make an ad group, you can put one ad that was much more verbose and one ad that's much more terse and see which works best. You can add, okay, when you create your search campaign, add keywords, and you can bulk add from a spreadsheet. But again, if you're making highly targeted ad campaigns and highly targeted ad groups, you shouldn't really need to do a bulk ad. And that would be more apropos for something where you're trying to create brand awareness, but for the most part, I wouldn't really do it. And then you save your ad group. After you save your ad group, you're going to go back in and you're going to change some of the defaults, and you're going to add more ads. Go to the ad, there's a tab in ad groups, and set your default maximum cost per click and set it low. And then what you can do is you can go the individual keywords, and you can raise the cost per click you're willing to pay on those particular keywords, but set the default ad group cost per click low. If you set it high, then you might be in for an unpleasant surprise. So and then you go to the keywords tab. On the individual keywords, you raise your bids. Again, raise them a little bit at a time. Don't feel you have to raise them. You're going to put in a bid, and at times Google will tell you that's not enough to make it to the first page. If that's the case, what I suggest is try to get close to the first page, and what Google is going to do is it's going to send some of your ads to the first page, even though it's below the first page bid, just to see how it performs. So you may get first page placement even though you're below first page bid. Yes?
Does Google penalize you for having a landing page that isn't accessible from the home page or not?
No. No.
So if I do a free shipping page and test out an ad campaign with free shipping.
And within, as relates to Joomla, yes, that's the way we do it. When we make a landing page in Joomla, I wanted to cover this, create a menu for landing pages. And you might create several menus for landing pages. Don't publish those. In order to get the URL, you might have to turn it on, go to that page and copy it, but you don't want to turn them on for the general public. Okay, and those hidden those hidden menus are how you make pages and links to pages that are landing pages not generally accessible from the public. Does that clear everything up for everybody? Good. Thank you very much for that point. Okay. From within the ad group, you can add and edit your keywords. And you can add negative keywords, you can pause keywords, and you can segment by time, and you create more ad variations. Let's go over those things a minute. Negative keywords. Suppose there's things that you don't want people coming to your site for. You don't want to pay for a click for somebody who's looking for free website development. So you might put -free in the front there. There's other reasons. Say you were selling thoroughbred race horses, and you don't want people coming in who are looking for hobby horses. So you would put -hobby, etc. So there's ways to make negative keywords, to exclude traffic that isn't interested in what you want to buy, or if you just don't want that traffic. There's also other ways to control keywords, and I'll talk about those later on. Segmenting by time. You can schedule your ads, or at least you could. I had trouble last night finding where to do this. I think they moved it. But you can schedule your ads so that they only show at certain times. So if you only want somebody your ads to show during lunch hour, you could do that. If you only want your ads to show in the morning, if you had some reason to do so, you could do that. If you want to turn it off from midnight to 3 a.m. because that's when all the drunks are going to call you up saying, I need my website fixed, you could do that, okay? Again, with the ads, create more than one ad, do A/B testing, do vary, okay? So the strategy behind anything that's text ads, the AdWords ads, is, okay, vary your ads with A/B, at least A/B testing. A/B means up to a certain number, 4, 5, etc. You want to maximize your click-through rate, because the higher click-through rate will have a lower cost per click, okay? And the way you maximize your click-through rate is by varying your ads, putting in the words that people respond to. Here's things that you might want to change in your ad in order to do this. You might want to change your headline. You might want to change the description, the line 1 description, the text in that, or the line 2 description. You might want to change what the display URL says. Sometimes capitalization, punctuation, or changing individual words will make a big difference. Sometimes you want to make major changes to the whole thing, change everything. Or sometimes you want to make just minor changes to see what the differences are. Change one word, change whether one word is capitalized, etc. Try one word with the word cat and one ad with the word feline. See which goes, okay? And then also, you want to vary your landing pages. Also, with at least A/B testing, you want to maximize your conversion, you want to minimize your cost per acquisition or cost per action, and for that you're going to use goals and analytics. So, we're done with the AdWords, and let's talk about the display network. Have I bored anybody to death yet? Are we all okay, or am I going too slow, too fast? Is it okay? It's okay, good. Okay. Again, you're going to create a campaign, and you're going to choose a product when you create the campaign, and you're going to say, I want just the display network now, not display network and the search network. You're going to choose the devices. Okay, same thing as I said before, you're going to choose your locations, and you can exclude regions. Same as before for that. You're going to set a daily budget. You're going to do manual bidding options, and there it says never choose automatic bidding ever. I'm pretty convinced about that, aren't I? Okay. There's an option for delivery. That's your choice. I don't. Whatever it means, I don't know. But definitely take a look in the advanced settings. Take a look at the scheduling, the times that you want your ads to display, and there's also some options called rotation, frequency, and capping. Take a look at those options. Rotation is you're showing more than one image ad and how it's going to treat that, you know, which image ads it's going to show. Frequency, how often it's going to show. You might want your ad to show to somebody every time they go to the website. You may want your ad to show once per day or once per week, you know, and it depends upon what your goals are, what works for you. And capping, how many times you want your ad to show. If somebody has seen my ad for 500 times and they're still not buying, I don't want to pay for them to see my ad anymore. So, also with Display Network, they have two options for paying for them. You have either CPC or CPM. CPC is cost per click. CPM is cost per 1,000 views. And for certain things where you don't expect them to click on it, CPM might make the better option. Say you're doing branding, you just want to remind people to go to the Sears store. So you might put up an ad up there. Remember, Sears is here for you, and you might want to have it show for 1,000 people or so.
Well, wait a minute. You don't want them to click necessarily if you're doing branding. Wouldn't you choose cost per click, because you're not optimizing your ad for clicking, which means you get a lot more impressions without paying for it.
Right.
As long as they don't click.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm sorry, I had that, but yes, absolutely. And that's one of the things that you can do with the Display Network. Try to work it so that if you expect a lot of clicks, try to see if you can bid on that cost per view, cost per CPM. If you expect that you're not going to get a lot of clicks, if you're going to get no clicks, then try to bid it on at CPC. Google will try to convince you to do it the other way, but definitely do that. Thank you for bringing that up. I'm sorry. All right.
How do you measure its effectiveness?
Good point.
CPM, you can't, that's the whole thing with CPM, you can't measure effectiveness.
Well, even with CPM, you know how often they clicked. You will have reports that tell you how often they clicked.
How often they impressions, 1,000 impressions, right?
Right.
That's statistics.
Yeah. With CPM, if you don't expect that they're going to be clicking, if there's no offer there and you just want a review, there has to be another way to measure it, and that's for marketing gurus. They might measure how many people go into a store, various. What?
Maybe with a coupon?
that would probably be a cost per click, a click-through thing. Click here for the coupon is one way to measure it. But if you just want it to be viewed and don't really expect them to click through and take an action, but just be aware of it and reminded of your existence, then there's got to be another way, and you have to be creative when doing this to figure out how to measure that. They do it with the Super Bowl ads and stuff like that. There are ways to do that.
Even with CPM, media people will judge something on cost per click. You're still judging it on cost per click.
Right.
You're just not paying for it that way.
Right.
So if you show 1,000 ads and X amount of people click, that cost for those 1,000 ads divided by the amount of clicks is your cost per click.
Yeah, and they may be click, or it may be cost per action.
Cost per action.
You know, they may go to the store, all of a sudden more people show up at the sandwich shop that's being advertised, or more people show up here, and there will be a statistical difference in based upon the time. So that am I almost done? How's the time?
Another 10 minutes.
Okay, I think I can do this.
How many more slides you got? You got 65 total.
Yeah. Okay. So set your default bid according to cost per click or cost per thousand. In the flexible reach option, you can show on the display. You can choose based upon keywords. So if you put together a bunch of keywords for this particular ad group, Google takes a look at the keywords, puts together a theme, and then matches your ads to websites that it deems has that particular theme. We're going to come back to that a little bit later on. There's also, you could set up the ad campaign for remarketing, or again, interest. These are websites that Google thinks are applicable. But under the different option, there's topics, placement, age, or gender. And that placements option is one that's going to come back into play when we do strategy. Because when you do these campaigns, you're going to set up two campaigns. One for, one is Google is going to put stuff out there, and that's a discovery campaign. And one's a placement campaign where you control where your ads are. Okay. So, choose theme keywords for the campaign. And this is the discovery campaign. And they've got a selector and keyword suggestions. Use all that. In this particular type of campaign, keyword matching is less relevant than it is in the AdWords campaign, but you can use negative keywords and choose the type of ads you want to present. You can do text ads and image ads. In this, I would probably use image ads. I almost never look at the text ads in the content network, although they may work for you. You can also present videos, and they have an ad builder which works very nicely and makes very, very nice looking ads. So if you need to do something quick and you don't have really the time to make an image ad, try using that ad builder. Okay. Now, the display network has a bunch of bidding options. Ad group placement, and you're going to use for the placement campaign, and for the discovery campaign, you're going to use ad group default keyword bid. When you get there, you'll see it. But the idea is that you put in keywords, and Google will put placements there. And when you get people, when Google makes the placements, you'll be able to see from a report who came to your website and who converted. And the websites that bring the people who convert, those you take out of the general discovery campaign. You take those websites out. You exclude them. And then you put them into a placement campaign. And those campaigns, you can control your bidding more effectively. You can bid higher. You can make sure that you're showing up in those places where those ads are effective. Okay, for placement site quality, low traffic sites are generally not worth much time worrying about. Medium sites give you good traffic. They tend not to be niche focused. and they tend to have moderate conversion. High-quality sites tend to be very authoritative on a niche or strongly branded and tend to have strong conversion. Okay, so using a discovery campaign, create a discovery campaign, set a low daily budget. And you want to exhaust that budget daily. It might be $10 or so. You're trying to, it's like fishing, all right? But you don't want to spend the whole day fishing somewhere which is just not going to work. But you just do a little bit of fishing with that each day. Set the bid price slightly higher. So if you set the bid price slightly higher but the limit low, Google is going to use those ads first. And then once it exhausts, it goes to your other campaign. Set your campaign for relevant pages across the entire network with automatic placement, with targeted keywords. Do A/B testing with these ads because you want to get the best performing ads even though they're showing everywhere. And then you consult your placement performance report. And I don't have a view of the placement performance report, but the next thing on this strategy here is you create a placement campaign and set your budget higher than you do with your discovery campaign. If your discovery campaign is $10, but you're willing to spend $100 per day, set your other campaign at $90, okay? Choose to manage your own placements. That's one of the options. And websites that perform well, and you can see that in the placement performance report, you add that website to your placement campaign and you set the bid price according to the performance shown in the performance report, and then you block that website from the discovery campaign. Just go back in and paste in the website. You can, now those placing them in the placement campaigns, you have the option of pasting the base domain, a subdomain, or a folder within the domain, so a slash, whatever. So you can control it pretty well. Things to know, you can pause your discovery campaign, so if you don't have time for it, I don't have time to look at this, I'm going to turn it off, you can do that. You set your bids according to the demographics. So, certain areas are willing to pay more, or you are more willing to convert. Take a look at demographics. You can set the day of the week, the time. You can control geographic location of your ads. And you can control the websites and the sections of the websites that your ads display. All right. Here's some warnings. If you keep the default settings on all the campaigns, it's going to cost you a fortune. If you don't manipulate your search keywords with excluding some and limiting some, then that's going to cost you a fortune. If you don't control your display network placements, it's going to cost you a fortune. If you don't do A/B testing on your ads and your landing pages, it's going to cost you a fortune. And okay, so if you don't split your landing pages, there. All right. Now, your targeted keywords. In the search network, you want to use keywords that are broad match, closely related, and in the search network, broad match is the default. In the search network, broad match keyword matching is the default. You don't want to use broad match keyword matching in the search network. You want to control your keywords. In the display network, the keywords define a theme, and then Google places things based on that. So let's talk about keyword control. Okay? So if I were to put in the keyword racehorse, right? Broad match, then racehorse anything with racehorse would come up. Horse race also would come up, and hobby horse would come up. Google gets very liberal with that. So phrase match. If you want to phrase match, you enclose your keyword in the double quotes. So thoroughbred racehorse, if that was a search word, thoroughbred racehorse would come up. This also, thoroughbred racehorse, would come up, but not horse race. So if it was in a phrase match, horse race is not a match for that. Exact match is enclosed in the square brackets. And of these exact matches, the only thing that's going to come up is if they put in those exact words. So if somebody searches for racehorse, then with exact match, your ad would only show up if those were the only words that were put into the search. Okay, and there are times when you want to do that. And negative match is when you put a minus sign in front of it. So if you could put a minus thoroughbred or a minus thoroughbred, then those words would be excluded. So if you're selling hobby horses and somebody put in thoroughbred racehorse, or and you don't want to show to them, then you put in that negative keyword. Easy, right? It's in the AdWords help. It's not hard, but definitely take a look at that and do that. You should track your ad campaigns and the performance. Now, I don't know of any good tools and any affordable tools. You're going to have to do it with spreadsheets. You're going to have to keep track of your ad variations, your click-through rate, cost per click, cost per action, the number of clicks, and your quality score. Keep an eye on all of it. Competitive intelligence. This is a really neat tool if you want to. Go to spyfoo.com. They let you use the tool for free in a limited amount, but you can see what other ads have been running out there, what competitors have for certain fields. Put in the keywords and it'll show you the ads, and it'll show you a short history going back several weeks, maybe a month or two. But you can see who's been varying ads. And it's a good thing to take a look at, and you can see who's been, you may see ads that are running for a certain competitor that are running the same. They're running the same ad for weeks or months. That may mean any of several things. It may mean that ad is working so well for them that they don't have to change it. Or it may mean that they don't know what they're doing and they're not changing their ads. They just put up an ad and said, oh, well. I can't tell you exactly what you're going to see in SpyFu, but definitely take a look and find out what your competitors are doing. Okay. There's differences between the major products. AdWords is search-based, and so these are people who are self-selected. Content Network is interrupted advertising. These were people who were interested in something else, and you put something out there in front of them. Maybe you've caught your attention, maybe you're not. YouTube is kind of a mix. It's search-based, but it's interruption. You're putting something in front of somebody who has an interest in a similar subject. Each strikes the person at a different point in the buying cycle. Each person from each of these different groups might enter your sales funnel at a different point, and so you should treat each source differently. You might not want to send them all to the same landing page, because they're going to be different points. Okay? Okay, resources. These are some books that I recommend highly. Advanced Google AdWords by Brad Geddes. He's definitely, it's not the easiest book to read, but it's not that bad. Definitely some neat things to think about. He also has a blog. I think he also tweets. Definitely take a look at what he's got to offer. Let's see. One of the things I know about this book had some really good strategies, but it did not focus too much on the A/B testing aspect of it. There's The Ultimate Guide to Google AdWords, Perry Marshall and Brian Todd. Now, I don't know if you've heard of Perry Marshall. I have mixed feelings about him, but that's okay. But definitely it's a worthwhile book to read and take a look at. His stress is on the A/B testing. Now, I have my own opinion about A/B testing. I think that multivariate testing is better, but it takes a long time to get results. A/B testing is very simple, gets quick results, but it's like poking in holes to see how deep they are, and you find the deepest hole, and that's a good one. Then you're poking around. But how do you know that you get the deepest hole in the whole field? You don't. With multivariate testing, you have better ways of finding the depth of each hole. But if you want simple and quick, and this is an easy read, it's not that complicated, Ultimate Guide to Google AdWords. Definitely at a very, very abstract level and hard book to read, but worthwhile, was Landing Page Optimization, the Definitive Guide by Tim Ash. Very good book. However, it's very abstract, and I went through the book looking to find formulas for formulas to use in some of this, and I didn't find any formulas, but definitely a worthwhile read. And so, in summary, oh, thank God it's over, right? This guy never shuts up. So we discussed the advantage of pay-per-click over search engine optimization. We covered some of the major Google products and how they fit into the buying cycle. We covered the Google tools for marketing, and we covered campaign strategy and optimization for AdWords and content network ad placements. And so,